Today, I want to talk with you about unlocking hidden time in unexpected places. So, you might have used these phrases in your life before, but people always say, I don't have time. I don't have time to get to the things that matter to me. I don't have time to lose weight. I don't have time to get to the gym. I don't have time to properly spend time on strategy in my business. And even though it might be true to an extent that you do not have the time, it's not so much that you don't have the time, it's that you don't unlock the time to be able to spend on that. You see, because the reality of life is that everyone has 24 hours in a day. Time works the same way for everyone in the world. It doesn't matter whether you are a small business owner or whether you are Jeff Bezos, you have the same amount of time in a day. How you apply that time, how you unlock time, and how you leverage your own time is what separates your ability to get more done in a day. And obviously, someone like Jeff has much more resources at his disposal. But even for you, the fact that you don't have time doesn't necessarily lie in the obvious places. And I say this because this is where I first discovered my lost time in a week. And when I say my lost time, I'm talking about a time where I had about 20 hours less every single week than I do right now, just because I was spending my time on different things and things that did not matter. When you look at your time and how you can actually start unlocking time in unexpected places, I think it's important to look at your week and look at the activities that you keep yourself busy with. If you are someone that constantly finds yourself checking emails, for instance, this is something that might take 15 minutes to 20 minutes of every single hour of your day. That adds up very quickly. So something like checking your emails once or twice, maybe 3 times a day, already saves you half, if not more, of the amount of time spent doing emails. If you are constantly working in a reactive environment and you are sitting at your desk and you're trying to work on something important, you're trying to tick off that to-do list as you work through it, but there's constantly people walking in interrupting you. There's constantly a phone that's ringing. There's constant meeting notifications and Slack notifications and various app notifications coming through. Then it's actually been proven through studies that even though you might be distracted for a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes, it can take up to 40 minutes just to reclaim your focus back to the level it was. Now, this translates very accurately to what was also found in research, and I'm sure you can contest to this from your own experience, is you'd spend a whole day at work in the office and you are working, you are busy, right? You're constantly busy because you won't be playing around. But when you look back at the day and you mark down the amount of hours, the amount of time that you actually spent doing productive things, doing things that move the needle on growth, then that might be about an hour and 2 hours, maybe 3 hours even. The rest of the time, you will find that you are busy with random tasks. You are checking emails. You are checking apps and various notifications. You might be caught up in hallway discussions. You might sit in meetings that were intended to be an hour, but you're in for an hour and a half or 2 hours, not really having discussed anything that was related to the topic of the meeting. And not really sticking to any clear agenda points. And now you guys are just sitting there complaining about a bunch of things that never seem to work, never seem to be fixed. And it's just a senseless conversation, being busy with things that don't drive the needle on growth. And as you can see from this conversation, the lost time is not always in the obvious places. It's not that you are not working. It's not that you are not trying to be busy. But the important thing is that we acknowledge the difference between being busy and being productive, and productive time spent on the things that truly matter. These are the things that drive the needle on growth, on your personal and work objectives. You can work for 2-3 hours on something very intently. They call it deep work. Very intently focusing and working on a single task for 2 to 3 hours will give you more efficient work, more effective work, more productive work than being distracted for 3 weeks and trying to get something done. That is how powerful this is. And fly in my eye. As part of this, one thing is unlocking the time. And then once you have the time, you need to start spending it on the right things. So as I've said to you, I'm at the point where I've freed up more than 20 hours every single week in my personal life compared to many years ago. But it's not that I do nothing during that time. The intention is not to get a empty calendar, to do nothing. The intention is to fill up your day with things that truly drive the needle on growth. So my day typically starts in the office. I settle in, I get a cup of coffee, and then I would work for 3-4 hours straight, uninterrupted as much as possible, as far as possible. I put my phone on the desk, put a focus mode on, I put my headphones in, shut the door, and put some focus music on. And everyone in my office knows that during this time, unless it's an absolute emergency, do not interrupt me, because I'm working on things that truly matter. I'm working on things that drive the business in a different strategic direction. When that time is done, that is when I'll start booking meetings. That's where I'll have conversations with various members of the team. That's where I'll engage in a more open manner, right? That's where I return the phone calls from the morning. That's where I'll open up my email once or twice and check things and respond to the most important emails. And I will then start ticking off the other things on my to-do list for that day. And I can't tell you how profound this has been in terms of my personal productivity, because I now work on less things in a day. So let's say like 3 to 5 things in a day. But the impact that these things have drive exponential growth. Where a couple of years back, I would have a to-do list. I'd start working on that and I'd get distracted. I would start working on various different things, and I was busy. It's not that I'm not busy, and this is the point of this video. It's not that you are not busy. You want to get to a point where what you work on truly matters. You want to get to a point where what you work on drives strategic growth in the business, and that the time you spend and what you spend your time on is actually worth your time. It's a critical mental decision to start making, and you will be extremely shocked with the amount of things you can get done in the same 24-hour day. You will be surprised, in fact, to understand that you can work less, achieve more, spend more time with friends and family, doing the things you love, and on the other end, your growth and your objectives are being grown and knocked down piece by piece by piece. It really is a fundamental framework. And if you don't know where you are losing the most time at this stage, let's say that's a problem. It's a real problem. You don't know where you are losing the most time and you need help in identifying that. Then in the link in my description box down below, I have a link to the time leak audit. It is a quiz that's going to take you about 2-3 minutes to complete, but it is really powerful in the sense that you answer a couple of questions and it tells you exactly where you are losing the most time in your day, right? So it actually goes and analyze what you answer, and it tells you where you are losing the most time in your day, which is great. Now you know. But apart from that, I actually send you custom recommendations on where I think you should start based on what you've answered. And this is really key because now you actually have an actionable framework to start working from. It's a really simple tool. It doesn't take a lot of time. I know you are caught up and you don't have a lot of time to spend on various things. But if I can ask you to spend 2-3 minutes, to invest 2-3 minutes of your time in this quiz, I guarantee you that you will unlock 10 hours in your week very soon if you start implementing the things that are outlined in that results page. And this is actually where I started my journey back in 2021. I started analyzing where I lost my time and what I could do to start being more productive and to start working on the things that truly matter. And it's since then that my growth, my personal growth, my business growth, everything has just absolutely skyrocketed to a point well past what I could have ever imagined. But it starts with making the time. Not having the time, making the time in your day to spend on the things that truly matter. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Cheers.